Hello, welcome to another episode of Snail Mail with Smokey. I hope you are having a wonderful day wherever you're at. Today's episode is going to be a mail day episode. That means I'm going to show you everything that I've received in the mail over about the last month. It's been about a month since I've done one of these episodes. So lots of postcards and surprises. So grab your favorite beverage, sit in your comfortable chair as we explore the world together through philately and postcrossing. Well, let's get right to it. I have some official postcards from postcrossing.com. Once again, if you've not been to postcrossing.com, please go check it out. It is entirely free to sign up and use. They ask you just a few simple questions, and within minutes, you are sending postcards to people all around the world. It is a great way to connect with people, to meet new friends. I have met some wonderful, wonderful people through Postcrossing. So yeah, go check them out. It is a great hobby and one that I really think you will enjoy. So here is my first official card. This card is from Russia. This is the Assumption Cathedral, which was built in 1476 it says. And it is a beautiful, beautiful building. And so thank you so much for sending me this. And then there are the wonderful Russian stamps that come right along with it. All right, up next is this beautiful postcard. I love the cathedral. Isn't that beautiful? It is from Latvia, but look at the stamps. I like this mini souvenir sheet of this stamp here. Just really beautiful stamps and a really nice card. So thank you so much for sending this. I really, really do appreciate it. And then on to a frog. This is from Belarus. It's postmarked mints. It has a great postmark and cancel. I'll show you that in a minute. But those of you who are familiar with the channel know that I love frogs. And this is from Ira, who lives in Belarus. And so, Ira, thank you so much for sending me this card. And there is the lovely beat stamp and that really nice postmark and cancel. Now on to swaps and surprises and everything in between. This first postcard comes from our good friend Lewis. Lewis is always so very kind about sending me postcards. He sends me a lot of postcards of long-necked animals because I love long-necked animals. And so he sends me this picture of a giraffe who is walking away from the camera, but a giraffe nonetheless. And I really had to smile when I found this in my mailbox. As always, Lewis has decorated this card immaculately. Giraffe sticker here. And then look at these stamps. Now, when I first saw this postcard, I thought these were 3 or 4 individual stamps, but they are not. This is one stamp, and it's a really nice stamp. I really like it. So, Lewis, thank you. And then Lewis sent me another postcard, and it is a book giraffe. And then once again, I love, love, love this stamp that has the giraffe and the zebra. Just a really great stamp. So Lewis, thank you so much, my friend. I really do appreciate all the great postcards and stamps that you send my way. Next is this postcard. This is another one that made me chuckle a little bit. This is from Lila, who lives here in the U.S., and Lila says that she got this postcard at a postcard show, and she thought it was a snail, so she got it to send for me. But upon further inspection, she discovered it was a slug when she got home, but decided to send it anyway. Lila, that's great. I think the fact that you thought of me, you thought it was a snail, and then got home and it was a slug, and you sent it anyway. I think the story makes the postcard, and I think it's a great looking slug. And I've got to admit, it is the only slug postcard that I have in my collection. So thank you so much for sending it. I do love it a lot. And, you know, what's a slug but a snail without a shell? I don't know. Tell me what you think. And then, because we just had the Olympics in Paris, and now the Paralympics are going on, she has sent me 2 stamps from Olympic Games in 1992. So thank you so very, very much, Lila. This next is from Linda in Georgia, and Linda made this card. She says she found some paper in a craft box, and so she made this postcard for me. So Linda, thank you so much. It's a beautiful giraffe. I am always in awe of crafty people who are able to make postcards. I'm not very crafty, so I'm always inspired by people who are. So Linda, thank you. And then she's put a beautiful flag stamp on here. So thank you so much. This comes from our friend David, who lives in Long Island, New York. He sends me this Norman Rockwell postcard. He says, I hope that you're having a great summer. I am. This has been a really good summer. It has been a busy summer. I have been very busy. My wife and I have been busy with lots of things going on, but it's been a good summer. And then there is the stamp. Up next is this envelope. I love, love, love this stamp. The Ukraine sticker. So, Happy Mail washi tape. So this comes from Jilly B. Jilly B living her life her way. Do check out her YouTube channel. Give her a like and a subscribe. And she sent me a couple of postcards. This one is blank. It is the National Railroad Museum in York, UK. The 5th of July, 2024. It was a Postcrossing meetup. And then she sends me this one. She said, I went to a Postcrossing meetup, my first one, and I met such a lovely bunch of people, also kind and generous. And you can see all of the people have signed and stamped this meetup card. Yeah, Postcrossers, some of the nicest people that I think you're ever going to meet. Always so kind and generous. And so, Jilly, thank you for sharing these postcards with me. I do appreciate it. And then Jilly sent me this envelope. If you watched her channel when these came out, you know exactly what this is. These are the brand new Dungeons and Dragons stamps that the Royal Mail released for, I believe it's the 50th anniversary of Dungeons and Dragons. And then inside is this wonderful insert that gives all of the history. And if I can get in here, she sent me this wonderful postcard. She says, I'm really enjoying the latest stamp release. I'm listening to 80s music and writing my dear friends. Summer has finally arrived, Jilly B. Jilly, I dig 80s music too. So I don't know who you're listening to, but I know that it is good music because I also enjoy that as well. So thank you so much. Oh, and I don't want to forget the back. Another long-necked animal, my favorite dinosaur. So, Jilly, thank you so much for that. Well, moving on. Next is this envelope. Look at all those really nice Canadian stamps. This comes from Monty, who is a really great friend of the channel. And he sent me this beautiful postcard. He says, I hope this letter finds you and your family well. We are doing extremely well, Monty. Thank you so much. I hope that you're doing well. I hope you're feeling better. All my best to you and your wonderful wife. And so he has sent me a few things. He has sent me this first day cover from the U.S., March 23rd, 1990, Hollywood, California, featuring 4 stamps of classic movies and really good movies. And then he sent me this little packet of stamps. So I have not looked at it, but you and I are going to look at it together because that's what we do here on this channel. Got my handy stamp tongs. So I am beginning to collect more and more Canadian stamps. It's not a country that I focus on. I say it's not a country that I focus on, but it is a country that I really enjoy the philatelic history of. And there have been some really, really lovely people who have sent me Canadian stamps. This is a really nice stamp. I love this stamp. Those of you who know Christmas is my favorite holiday, love Christmas stamps. This is a beautiful stamp. I'm excited to get these in an album on some stock pages and get them into my binders and into my collection. Wow, look at this stamp. That is a nice, that's a rather large stamp. You know, compared to a stamp like this. You know, I like bigger stamps. Just because you can see the detail on them some. But I know, and I'm going to ask those of you who are also post-crossers and send postcards and friend mail, when you go to the post office and you pick out your stamps, I always pick out commemorative stamps usually. Sometimes I'll buy the international stamp for America, which is just a single round flower stamp. But most of the time I buy forever stamps, the forever commemorative stamps. But I do find that for me to mail internationally, it takes 3 stamps at least to make up the correct rate. Sometimes it takes 4, depending on what I'm doing. Great image of His Majesty King Charles III. So I find that when I put 3 or 4 stamps on a postcard, doesn't leave me a lot of room for decorating and doesn't leave me a lot of room for writing. So tell me, what do you prefer? Do you prefer to have a nice, large commemorative stamp to put on your postcards? Do you prefer to have like a 1 international stamp so you've got more room to decorate and write? Do you prefer smaller stamps? Maybe buy definitive stamps and do it that way. I'm just curious what other people think. I really like putting a variety of stamps. I don't mind so much that I don't have as much room to write because I think a lot of post-crossers are also stamp collectors. And so I think people really like receiving different stamps. But yeah, leave me a comment and let me know what you think about that. Alrighty, well, I've got one last item and we're going to spend a couple minutes talking about it because I am beyond excited about it. Let me show it to you. This is it. It's a postcard. It's in a little plastic sleeve. We'll talk about that in a minute. London on it has a classic pillar post box, which I really, really like. And it's got the Royal Mail up here. So this card comes from Vera. And Vera lives in Germany. She sent me some stamps before. Very, very kind of her. Very thoughtful of her. And so she writes, she says, I had the opportunity to have your cards sent via England, all very original. Now, look, I don't know how you did this, Vera. but I'd really like to know. So send me a message. Let me know how you were able to accomplish sending me a postcard while you're in Germany via the Royal Mail in Great Britain. Love to know how you pulled that off. Super excited that you did. Wonderful stamps there. I haven't taken it out of this plastic sleeve, and I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know that I'm going to, because I really like the presentation. I really like how it comes. She's decorated it very, very well with all this wonderful washi tape. And so, Vera, thank you so much for being so thoughtful and finding some sort of way to get this to me via the UK. And so she asked me a question. She says, when you visit the UK, what do you definitely want to visit and eat? Well, Vera, that is a great question, and I put a lot of thought into it. Most of you know that if there was one place in the world I could go, it would be the United Kingdom. It's where my father's side of my family comes from. My family came from Great Britain, so we have a lot of history there. I'm in love with English literature, with the landscape, with the look. I love all things British. I've said it 1,000 times. I'll say it another 1,000 times. Look behind me. I've got Doctor Who. I've got British phone booths. I've even got a little pillar mailbox that you can't see. I've got British stamps on my wall. I love all things British. So things I want to see. Well, first of all, I want to see everything. I want to see the entire country, and just spend days and days and days there just exploring everything. But if I had to pick a top 3 or 4, first thing is I've got to go to London, and I've got to see Westminster Abbey. Westminster Abbey is this beautiful abbey. Many royal weddings have taken place there, but it's also the burial grounds for over 3,000 people. I think it's something like 3,300 people are buried at Westminster Abbey, including Alfred Lord Tennyson, which I have on some stamps behind me, just out of camera that you can't see. I call him Uncle Alfred because he is in my family tree. Not sure if it's uncle or not. I just like to call him Uncle Alfred. So got to go to Westminster Abbey. Like I said, I want to go all over the UK. So I want to go to Cornwall. And on the north coast of Cornwall is Tintagel Castle. It is ruins of this castle from way back when that you can go and tour. I would love to go. It is thought and believed that was the inspiration probably for the legend of King Arthur. In the legend, that is where King Arthur is conceived, there at Tintagel Castle. There is a wonderful bronze sculpture there that, look it up. Just look up Tintagel Castle online. Look up this bronze sculpture. And it's an image of King Arthur, but it's not a solid statue. There's lots of negative space, and I got to go see it. I've got to go see that. And then on the other end, on the north, I've got to go to York. I want to see York. I want to be able to visit that wonderful place and see everything that they have to offer. Scotland is a must for me to go see. So there are many places that I want to see. Something that's not very touristy. In the east of England, there was a small village of under 300 people. It's in Norfolk County, in the east of England, and it's a little village called Claxton. And I want to go there. And you're like, why do you want to go to this little village called Claxton? Because a couple of years ago, I wrote a murder mystery dinner party game. I've written, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 of these over the years that we usually do around my birthday, and I'll have 10 or 12 people over. We'll have dinner, and we'll play out this murder mystery thing. So I wrote this murder mystery dinner party, and I called it Murder at Claxton Castle. And so what I did is I just looked at a map of Great Britain. I picked out a little village that I thought was great, and I thought, hey, what if we put a castle here? And this game revolved around this fictional castle called Claxton Castle. So yeah, I'd like to go see the place where I set the fictional story that I created. So those are the places I want to visit. As far as things I want to eat, I got to eat fish and chips, right? You can't go to Great Britain without eating fish and chips. I really want to try Yorkshire pudding. I've never had Yorkshire pudding, but I'd like to give that a go. I want to eat a proper Sunday roast. I watch a lot of British TV and a lot of British cooking shows, and they're always making the Sunday roast, and it's this great meal that families do, and yeah, I want to eat one of those. And then in the same lines, I really want to sit down and have a traditional English breakfast, you know, with the beans and the toast and the sausages and the everything that goes with that. I think that would be a fabulous time. Also, wouldn't mind having a proper English tea. I drink a lot of tea. I'm from the South, and so all the tea I drink is iced tea. Now, I don't drink sweet tea like most people in the South do. I haven't had sugar in my tea in 30 years probably, but I do drink a lot of tea, but I've never had tea with, you know, milk and sugar and the way that they drink it across the pond. So I would like to try that. And, you know, anything else that comes along, I'm fair game to give a try. So thank you, Vera, for the thoughtful gesture and card. Thank you, everyone who has sent me postcards and stamps. I really appreciate it. You all are great. You are the best viewers here on YouTube, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. One last thing before I go. Okay, two last things. First of all, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please hit the subscribe button right now. We're over 800 subscribers. Can you believe it? So thank you all for that. Hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the bell icon too so you know when new videos are up. And stay tuned because coming up in just a few days is the next installment of Stamp versus Stamp, which is my monthly collaboration with That Dad Guy. That will be coming out at the first of the week. So that'll also be the 1st of September. So I think it's going to come out the 2nd of September. So be looking for that. Well, thank you all so very much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Until I see you next time, have a great day. Bye-bye.